Hi friends, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. We are your home for Caribbean weather. Great to see you on this Friday as we wrap up our first full week of videos back after several months off, as we revamped and bringing you the all-new Meteo Mundo. Whether you've been a viewer of the channel the last couple of years or you're just tuning in for the first time, whole new experience on the screen and for me as we go through these daily forecast videos. So I told you this week I would continue to keep you kind of apprised of what you see on your screen. Again, this is designed for you to get the most easy to understand real-time information in the space so you can make better plans for today and for the next week ahead, and of course at times of tropical storms and hurricanes. On the left-hand side of your screen, that is going to be the major weather headlines that I'm going to be covering in today's videos, the rundown of the video, if you will. So because we're talking about the new Meteo Mundo, I'm going to highlight that headline, and we'll talk about these other big headlines as we move through. On the bottom of your screen, some really important information. The ticker are the weather impacts for the day. So any watches, any warnings, any advisories, that could be anywhere from flash flooding statements and severe thunderstorm warnings to marine interest to heat advisories for our entire area. You'll see the country and you'll see that advisory type and all the details. And of course, as I go through the video, I'll continue to highlight this impactful weather and give you even further details. Something really cool, 5-day forecast for over 45 cities in our area. You're going to get the sky condition each day. You're going to get the daytime high, both in Fahrenheit and Celsius, and the chance for rain. This is my forecast. Spend a lot of time each day preparing that for you guys. So really customized forecast for you. As always, this is your channel. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. If you got a question about the forecast, feel free to drop it down there as well. Let's wrap up this first week with what's going to be happening on this Friday and for the weekend ahead as well. We're going to start with some developing storms. Now look, I'll grant you right now, they're fairly few and far between, but we're starting to see some showers and some thunderstorms develop. An area I want to mention right off the bat is Panama and southern Costa Rica. If you look at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see some advisories for these areas, especially Panama. Daily rainfall totals are over 50 or 60 millimeters, 2 inches plus for rain near the Panama City area. This is leading to some flash flooding conditions, some difficulties as far as travel goes, and some high quick river rises as well. So for Panama, we continue with this. 3-day rainfall totals are likely to be between 3 and 5 plus inches, or 150 to 250 millimeters in a lot of spots. This moisture train is not going anywhere. There's actually a broad area of low pressure trying to develop right now in the southwestern Caribbean, and you can just see on the enhanced satellite imagery south of there in the Pacific, more moisture is billowing up right now from portions of South America. This is an area of concern not only for today but for the next several days as well. Another area we can see a couple of showers and storms is going to be the far western sides of Cuba, even west of Cienfuegos towards Havana. A couple of thunderstorms and a few rumbles of thunder and lightning developing there. Going to be a relatively quiet day over most of the Bahamas. There could be a few localized showers and a rumble of thunder here. The bigger story today in the Bahamas is actually going to be heat, and we'll talk about more about that coming up. But again, when you have this kind of heat, you can develop some localized storms across some of the islands, Andros, on over towards Grand Bahama, Freeport, Lucaya at the hour. And again, if you guys live on Grand Bahama, let me know. But around the High Rock area, east of Freeport, Lucaya, we've seen a couple of light showers developing. For our friends who live in Florida, and there's a lot of Floridians who view the channel, thunderstorms in the northern part of the state, these will be sinking south through central Florida later tonight, and then over the weekend, the opportunity for some more storms even down towards Miami and the Keys, especially early next week. That's going to impact the Bahamas coming up as well, and I'll highlight that in just a few. Getting a couple of showers to develop along the southern coastline of Hispaniola at the hour, especially towards Lakay, Baja Rota, places like Santo Domingo, La Romana, Punta Cana, all with the opportunity for some scattered showers and storms. Not a bad situation considering temperatures right now are climbing through the upper 80s and lower 90s Fahrenheit. We had some good storms yesterday. Central Puerto Rico towards the southwest, trying to get a few additional storms to develop now. No lightning out of this as of yet, but central sides of the island and then pushing off towards the west, your best opportunity. Not going to rule out a shower near San Juan or Fajardo or Vieques or Culebra, but they're just more limited for today. A few passing showers for our friends in the U.S. British Virgin Islands from St. Croix up towards St. John and St. Thomas and Virgin Gorda and Anegada. Same situation through most of the Lesser Antilles as well. Anguilla, St. Bart's, St. Kitts and Nevis, Saba, St. Eustatius, Barbuda, Antigua, Montserrat. Isolated rain. If I show you guys the water vapor imagery here, the one situation that we'll talk more about as well is that there is some Saharan dust beginning to move into our region. So it's going to suppress the rain a little bit. It's going to crank up the heat a bit. It's not outrageous in most spots in the central and the eastern Caribbean. It's a different story out west, and we'll look at that in a second. These are your actual feels like temperatures. No one is at 100 here from Puerto Rico east. We are seeing that in portions of the Dominican Republic, but you get the idea that the heat is likely to continue to build here over the next couple of days because of the air being so dry. So back over right now to the rest of the Lesser Antilles. We'll switch over to our visible satellite imagery. And again, if we catch a shower, and you're going to see the forecast in the Antilles are going to be in that 20, 30, maybe at most 40% range at best. Just a couple of scattered showers out there. One area that might try and pop off a few showers is down towards Trinidad, especially the southeast side of the island. A little bit of moisture coming off the mainland right now. You get the interaction of the different wind directions here. Kind of a southwest wind at the mid-levels, the easterly winds at the surface, and a few showers are possible there. The big story across the ABC Islands continues to be the elevated winds and sea conditions. We still have the yellow alert for portions of Curacao, especially I believe the eastern and the northwest sides of the islands. Bonaire's had over a 30-mile-an-hour breeze. We continue with some marine advisories for portions of Aruba as well. So great weather. Very, very beautiful outside, but you got to watch out for the rips, and you got to watch out if you're a small vessel as well. On over towards the west, we have been bone dry for most part in Mexico and the central and the northern sides of Central America. Temperatures are beginning to climb in accordance with this. It's been dry through the Bay Islands. Look at the temperatures beginning to develop right now, and that's the next thing I want to talk about is the wind and the heat. So out here, we do have some potential for dangerous heat. Now, there's no large-scale advisories for the heat yet, but again, these are actual air temperatures right now. San Ignacio is pushing 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Same situation across the northern sides of Honduras, San Pedro Sula, and the La Ceiba areas. When we look at the heat index, this is not great. All right, in all seriousness, please take very good precautions in the afternoon. Feels like temperatures now are pushing 105, 110, maybe even 115, 120 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So into the low and maybe even mid 40s Celsius for feels like temperatures, what it's really like on the body. It's not a great situation there. If you guys live in these areas, let me know. I wish there was more rain in the forecast, but right now we are going to be high and dry. Another beautiful afternoon across Jamaica, my friends there. Still a limited isolated shower chance. We do not have the large wave and strong wind advisory. Right now the winds have settled down a little bit near inshore waters. Again, we'll take a look at the marine forecast coming up in just a second as well. Montego Bay, not a bad afternoon, up to 88 degrees. Some clouds if nothing else, and hopefully the opportunity for a couple of showers there. Across the Cayman Islands at the hour, temperatures climbing to right around 90 degrees. When we look at the overall visible satellite imagery, you can even see towards Panama and some of the southern latitude areas a little bit of that haze coming through. That is a thicker, more pronounced Saharan dust layer. Look at all of the red in our area indicating relatively dry conditions. Another tropical wave is located back out in the far southern latitudes of the Atlantic Basin, near what we call the intertropical convergence zone. But this time of the year, it's very rare that they actually have big influences on us. Friends, as we get into the forecast, thanks for taking a quick second and emailing me. Let me know in the comments section below where you're viewing from. But if you want to send me a picture or video, would love to hear from you guys. The easiest way to do that is going to be mymeteomundo@gmail.com. If you do so, please keep those videos under 20 seconds. And while you're down there, you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate those who continue to be subscribers and are members as well. Thank you for all of that support. I really appreciate both of those things. So now let's talk more about this Sahara dust. This is the close-up look of the Caribbean. When we get into next week, you're going to see more purples out there. That is higher concentrations of Saharan dust. So as we push through the weekend and especially into next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, there's going to be more. Now, This is the first plume that will take shape and really a grip across more of our area. We've had little intrusions of Saharan dust, especially on the eastern side of the Caribbean and into the southern latitudes, but some of this dust is likely to reach places like Haiti and the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the Cayman Islands, Cuba, Turks and Caicos, and the southeast Bahamas by next Sunday. So about 10 days out, and again, pretty thick down towards portions of the Windward Islands as well. So that's going to be a situation that is going to continue to suppress the opportunity for rain. The one thing that I do expect us to continue to see is some relatively elevated sea conditions because the easterlies are going to stay fresh. So again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, now you're seeing your marine forecast for over 25 larger harbors, cruise ports, and other fishing area interest or boating areas in general across our entire region. You're going to get the max wave height and both feet and meters. You're going to get detailed tide information, what kind of tide, exactly when it will occur, and the magnitude, and your updated daily water temperatures, which for the most part are still in the 70s Fahrenheit. But again, it's not that long from now. In some areas, we'll be knocking on the door of getting back up to 80 degrees. And that would be the threshold, of course, to support any kind of tropical development. But we're a little bit far away from that right now, thank goodness. So let's move on. I'm going to bring back up these talking points right now. We already got into the Saharan dust. I mentioned that. And again, the biggest situation with that is I do expect it to continue to spread for us here. Oh my goodness, where did it go? All right, hang on, I'm going to take those off. I'm going to bring them back on. I just got to find where my control is. Oh, I hit the wrong button. See, I'm learning as we go along as well. Recording this as if we're live. Sometimes I hit a wrong button, the next thing you know. So we've talked about the Saharan dust spreading. Let's get into what's going to be happening next. I want to prepare you guys for the weekend ahead, if you got plans, and then talk about the rain chance into early next week. Obviously, it's great to have your 5-day forecast on the screen. I can say this, the eastern side of our area is likely to continue with some of the better rain chances, but I do expect another cold front to be coming in and having some impacts to portions of Florida, the Bahamas, and Bermuda as well. So let's get into that. Let me bring up our model. Going to run that for you guys over the next 5 days, and we'll start with another cold front coming off of the U.S. eastern shoreline. Again, this could bring some storms into central Florida tonight, could drag down into South Florida sometime over the weekend, but likely it won't be until either late Sunday or especially Monday and Tuesday. Places like Miami, Key West, Freeport, Lucaya, Nassau, New Providence, on over towards Eleuthera and Marsh Harbor will get a better chance for showers. It's not a bad situation because you've seen in the bottom of the screen the heat advisory scrolling for the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, where we could still be pushing 102 to 108 Fahrenheit for feels-like temperatures over portions of the weekend. These showers are likely to blast through Bermuda as well. Bermuda has some higher rain chances, again, starting over the weekend and into early next week. Fast-moving showers and a lot of wind. We have a small craft warning in effect right now, and those kind of churned-up conditions are likely to continue for Bermuda. The rain will fall apart as it gets into the central Bahamas and southeast Bahamas, but still for the Acklins on over towards Exuma and Long Island, a few showers are possible. Turks and Caicos likely to see a few showers as well. That's great news because Grand Turk today, the feels like number hit about 99 degrees Fahrenheit. It is baking in the Turks and Caicos right now, along with other areas as well. So let's try and catch more showers. Isolated rain over Cuba, same situation with lower chances over the Cayman Islands. I don't have big chances the next couple of days in Jamaica, but I do want to point out that on the model, as we get into early next week, especially Monday, Tuesday, and then as we get into Wednesday, rain chances should begin to improve, especially areas that haven't seen a lot of rain. So for places like Kingston and Hayes and Maypen and the Mandeville areas towards Black River and Treasure Beach, southern coastline, including Port Moore and Spanish Town, hold on, few more days. Could get a couple of showers between now and then, but by late Tuesday, Wednesday, I am expecting more moisture return and trying to improve your rain chance there. This is an area that could use some more rain, but Cancun and Cozumel, Tulum there, not likely to see much rain. Same situation along the Belize and Guatemalan coastline, where isolated showers at best are likely to persist. There's not a good chance for rain for Utila, Roatan, and Guanaja. So, look, it's hot, it's humid, northern coastline of Honduras. That is not going to change anytime soon. Where we'll continue to see the best chance for showers, Costa Rica, but especially Panama. Again, flooding rain is likely here each and every afternoon. We're piling up the rain. Some of the terrain areas, getting into low-lying areas is producing some of that flooding. So again, if you do live in Panama, keep that in mind. Scattered showers will continue to persist, but just scattered for the Windward Islands. Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, TNT, even Nueva Esparta there off the coastline. A few showers are possible here. I'm going to favor places like Trinidad over the areas, but Bridgetown, Barbados could get a couple of showers there. More isolated for St. Lucia, Martinique, and Dominica over the next couple of days. Don't expect a ton of rain over Guadeloupe, Montserrat, and Antigua. It's not horrible marine weather in these areas as well, so hopefully you'll take advantage and get out and enjoy that for you guys. Up towards Barbuda, Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis, 20 to a 30% chance for showers with our easterlies, very seasonal for this time of the year. Same situation over the Virgin Islands for Anegada, Roadtown, Tortola, Virgin Gorda, St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John, 20 to a 30% chance. Few more showers here in Puerto Rico. They'll develop in central sections, move off towards the west, but even eastern areas could catch a rogue shower or two. And I'm expecting a little bit better coverage of rain over portions of Hispaniola starting over the weekend. Still going to be favoring Punta Cana, Santo Domingo compared to the Samana Peninsula up towards Puerto Plata. And even Port-au-Prince, Haiti could see a couple of showers as well. So looking at the wave heights here, again, this is an area where I do expect us to see some fresh wind conditions over the next several days, and that's the southern side of the basin and then back into the southwest Caribbean. You know, you can see these wave heights hitting 8, 10, even 12 feet as significant waves, and it's going to getting closer to the coastlines of Nicaragua and Honduras and eventually towards the Bay Islands. Our standard easterlies will continue across most of the Antilles. Would expect some fresher winds maybe up towards Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands compared to what we're seeing right now. I'll be monitoring that. And despite the fact that front's coming through, it will bring a little bit more wind action and wave action to Bermuda especially. But right now, it's just the offshore waters of the eastern side of the Bahamas that I am more concerned about when it comes to the opportunity for some, perhaps some marine interest advisories coming up in the next couple of days. That would be dependent on if that front wants to stall out in that area. And at this point in time, I think that's questionable. We'll just see how far south this ends up getting. So again, looking at the broad perspective, we're going to have our first true concentration of Saharan dust really beginning to impact the area next week. The heat is going to continue to be a big story across the area, and the best chance for showers and storms will be in our northern areas as another front settles back in. Friends, it's great to be back with you guys. I really appreciate it. So excited to be with you and to give you these daily updates. And if you like what you're seeing right now, get ready for hurricane season. When we get into live stream coverage, we got a lot more to offer you guys. Again, appreciate you hitting that like button. Let me know in the comments section below what you think. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon with your latest forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. Until then, take care.